Hi, today is Thursday, March 30th, 2017. It's the fourth day of the fifth week of Lent, and this is A Swede Speaks. And I am going to talk about the Swedish opinion corridor. You might have heard of it, I mention it sometimes. The opinion corridor in Sweden is the thing that, it's of course not an official thing, but it's still there. And it means that only certain opinions are, you're only allowed to hold certain opinions, and if you don't, you will be socially excluded and ostracized. It's not illegal to have opposing views, but it comes with a heavy price. You are getting social consequences for voicing opinions that are outside of the opinion corridor. For instance, the opinion that third wave feminism is a bad idea, that there are biological differences between the sexes, and that this difference also means men and women in general are good at different things. Not really an accepted opinion. The opinion that not all religions are the same. That Islam is really an evil ideology dressed up as a religion and causes much more harm than any of the other religions practiced in Sweden. Not really an acceptable opinion in Sweden. The opinion that while immigration might be a good thing, Islamic immigration almost always is a bad thing. Not really an acceptable opinion in Sweden. Or even the opinion that, because of immigration of Muslim men, in certain age groups in Sweden, there are now a larger population of men than of women, and that this is a problem. Not really an accepted opinion in Sweden. But hey, why should I care about what's an accepted opinion or not? Shouldn't I just voice my opinions? I've done that my entire life. And I will keep on doing it because I don't have it in me to be quiet. But I can mention a few examples because when you use the word opinion corridor, lots of people are going to label you a right-wing extremist, because only right-wing extremists use this word, and they have never noticed that you can say whatever you think. Well, maybe because they are conformists, or maybe because they are lying to themselves. And by the way, consumption of Prozac and similar pills is high in Sweden. I think it's the highest in Scandinavia. I think one in nine Swedes are eating these happy pills, the pills to make you happy. Why are you doing that? If everything is fine and great and wonderful in Sweden, why are they eating these pills? In Norway, I think the number is 6 out of 100, and in Sweden it's like 11 out of 100 or something like that. So yeah, I'm not sure Swedes are really as happy as they pretend to be, but you have to pretend. Because what happens? If I would apply for a job in Sweden, and they Google my name, well, of course, employers Google the names of their employees, and they'll find out, no, sorry, you don't fit in here, we'll hire somebody else. And I know lots of examples. I can mention a few. I can mention the ones who are public, a few of them, just to get us going, just to get you to see like the pattern here. Marcus Birro, a Swedish author and reporter, self-learned, but he's been writing books and articles for many years, about 20 years I think. He's written 17 or 18 books. His last book was just published, so I should get it because I have started buying his books. A large reason now is because someone has to support him, and okay, he's doing a little better now. And I hope that goes on. I hope that the opinion corridor really is eroding in Sweden. Sometimes it seems like it, but then something else happens, and you see the writing on the wall that no, still there. Anyway, Marcus Birro, he wrote about 2 years ago. He wrote an article in one of the biggest newspapers in Sweden, and he wrote that Christians is the most persecuted religious group in the world right now, and to a large extent, Muslims are the persecutors. He had to fight to publish this article because his editor called him up and said, "We can't print this." And Marcus Birro asked him, "Why not?" And "Isn't it true?" I said, "Yes, true, but we can't print it." But he managed to get him to print it. But after that, and after him having lunch with 2 politicians from the Sweden Democrats, having lunch with people, and the Sweden Democrats, mind you, they are not Nazis. Some of their older members might have been Nazis. Some might have come from Nazi organizations. That is a big debate that we could go into, but that will be the topic of another video, maybe. But the Sweden Democrats as a party, they are not Nazis. When they find Nazis, they throw them out. They have a zero tolerance against National Socialism and anti-Semitism and so on, which has made the real Nazis in Sweden start calling them the Israel Democrats. I've seen it in some discussion boards. But anyway, Marcus Birro had dinner with 2 politicians from the Sweden Democrats at a public place, at a restaurant in Stockholm. Someone took a picture, and he was fired. And then he had to go on for 2 years struggling, couldn't get a decent job. I don't think he was able to get any job, actually, because well, everyone knew who he was and what he had said, and he was like persona non grata. And he might be the best example. Then there are other examples too. Let's take Jan Sjunnesson, who writes at Avpixlat, which is one of the alternative media sites in Sweden. He is not paid for writing there, and he has been unable to find a job in years since he started, well, debating what's going on in Sweden with the migration policies and the consequences of it. And he is a teacher. He shouldn't really have any problems finding a job in Sweden. There is a shortage of teachers in Sweden. But every time, so as far as I understand, when he applies for a job, he tells them to Google him, because they're going to do it anyway. And if they're still interested, they can contact him. And what happens is this. I think I'm going to take my Trotsky quote first now, before I go on. And the Trotsky quote was used by Hayek in The Road to Serfdom, which is interesting, because Trotsky was actually onto something here. I don't know if Trotsky was intentionally warning for the very system that he proposed or what he did, but this is an honest quote. So let's quote Leon Trotsky now. In a country where the sole employer is the state, opposition means death by slow starvation. The old principle, who does not work shall not eat, has been replaced by a new one, who does not obey shall not eat. And this is close to what's going on in Sweden, but also in other Western countries, like in the UK, and in the Netherlands, and in Finland. But okay, there are some differences here. There is not a sole employer in Sweden. There are many employers. But the opinion corridor makes almost all of them to run in the same direction, following the same corporate responsibility policies or whatever they call it. And it makes that means they won't hire dissidents, because that's bad for business. And I mean, this is what's going on. And what can we do about it? I mean, I have to speak up about it, because the sinister thing here is that, I mean, most of the people, I suppose, me included, most of the people on this side of the political spectrum, of what we might call the right-wing, conservative, traditionalist, sort of nationalist, anti-Islam, I guess a kind of alt-right, but I know not everyone here would agree with that term. But anyway, the corner on the political spectrum that is traditionalist slash critic or hostile towards Islam, etc. Most of us believe in decent, honest, hard work. One way or the other. We think that the best thing for people and for society is to have people working. We think it's the best thing for people themselves too, because we usually don't like dependency culture. And yeah, I am going to make a video about what dependency culture has done to Sweden, but that will be the topic for another video. But I mean, things are connected. We don't like that. We think the best thing is for people to be working one way or the other and making their own money. Of course, there are cases when that just won't work, but let's say that maybe 2 or 3% of the population. Okay, let's first discuss how to get the 97% that are able to work. But what happens here is that when you are ostracized, when you are excluded, when you make yourself unemployable by voicing your opinion, and then there is that little voice in you that you should know better, you shouldn't say anything, you should be quiet. But with me, this conflicts with the other voice saying, the problem isn't what the evil people do. The problem is the bystanders saying nothing, doing nothing. You see, you have to choose here, and we have to choose our battles. But I think this battle actually shows me, or well, I think it's a part of my calling. I can't help it. I just have to. And I mean, it's really, really depressing sometimes. But the sinister thing is this. A Norwegian, well, Facebook friend of mine, who wrote on his or her Facebook page that, well, this person tried to get a job, but it was very difficult. Even though this person had completed an education that would make this person, well, wanted on the job market. And someone wrote, you shouldn't post so much about politics. Employers Google you and they're not interested. And a lot of people agreed. I was maybe the only one who disagreed. And I commented that this is how the Swedish opinion corridor was created. And now now we have a Norwegian version too. Not as bad as the Swedish one, but still pretty bad. And if we don't stand up to this, someone has to. I mean, that's what I say. This channel is about Nordic and international politics, and it's like, because someone has to. I cannot be quiet. I just have to do this. And all I can hope and pray for right now is really the success of this channel. Yeah, I just needed to get this out. Because it's really sinister. Because one of the sinister things are, if you are unable to find even an entry-level job, if you thereby, you're deprived of the possibility of supporting yourself. And yeah, maybe you can start a business. Maybe you can do that. And then your customers Google you. Or other businesses that you might be dealing with Google you. And then they, no, we're not going to deal with this company. You see, there's so much going on. There are so many things connected here. So the entire opinion corridor in Sweden, in Norway, in the entire West. You got it in Canada, you got it in Britain, you got it in Germany and in the Netherlands and in Finland. And it just has to be beaten down. And the sinister, or a sinister thing about this is, and they can tell people who are unemployed, they can't find a job, and they can't do it because of their opinions. Okay, they get to eat anyway because they will receive some kind of unemployment benefits, so they get to eat. But they will tell them, why do you complain? Government takes care of you. Yeah, first government breaks your legs, then they give you crutches, and then they say, what are you complaining about? Government helps you to walk. I could walk much better before they crushed my legs. Hey? I mean, that's what it is. And yeah, I guess this turned into a little bit of a rant, but I've been it's been boiling in me for such a long time, for years, long before I had an idea I would start this channel. So we're gonna have to talk about this at some other time too. And that's what I have to say about this right now. I would like to thank all the people who are supporting this channel through prayers, through Patreon, through PayPal. It's all greatly appreciated. And if you like this channel, please subscribe so you don't miss anything. I recommend you to press the little bell too. I think it helps. Please share my videos on social media, on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Please comment if you got something to say. Please like my videos if you like them. And I would also like to encourage you to support this channel. And I will include all the necessary information in the information box below. This is A Swede Speaks. Have a nice day.